So for this first half of the video, I'm going to talk about the blitz setup, including when they block 7 or when they send 5 out. And then the second half of the video, I'm going to talk about the coverage shell that I like to run against gun bunch, depending on the hash marks that they are on. So Mike SS3 seam, we're going to start off with gun bunch on the wide side of the field. Let's talk blitz setup. First, you always want this blitzing linebacker to be on the same side as the running back. So we have auto alignment set to base. We're going to go ahead and press and QB contain, and that's it. The blitz is ready. Now, because this is going to be a 4-man blitz, what we're going to do is we're going to take Y, quick adjustment, and man him up into the running back. And all we're going to do is just hover. Now, this is practice mode, and things are super inconsistent, so keep that in mind. Holding left trigger, we're going to hover right here, and you can see right there, that time it goes ahead, it gets picked up. But 9 times out of 10 in-game, it's going to go ahead and come through. Again, let's do this one more time. Press, contain, man him up. We'll go ahead and blitz our user right here. Sometimes it helps in practice mode. Engage, disengage, and well, right now, man, you gotta love this game. It's just like god tier blocking. I promise you, earlier I was able to get this to come through every single time. Blitz. Now, if they do go ahead and block their running back, we're gonna go ahead and keep that slot corner on the blitzing assignment. Blitz our user with contains. As always, just engage, disengage. You can see right there. There's the looper coming around like it's supposed to. Previously, we were sending 4. The tackle dumbs out, can't pick it up. We get pressure. Now, there is 2 different ways you can block your tight end in gun bunch. The first one is to take this slot receiver RB and motion him across. The second way is to motion your tight end in. So for now, let's go ahead and motion him across. I'm not even going to worry about like adjustments or anything. We're just going to keep spacing switch as their terrible rock combination. And we're going to go ahead and block our tight end. So this is a max protect on gun bunch. We're going to go ahead and press and now send both slots off of the edge. So this time we're going to take A, blitz him as well, and still rocking the contains, because more often than not, when you send the blitz like this, it's going to be the looper that still comes through. So this is a max pro gun bunch. We're going to engage, disengage, and get right there. We get the looper actually coming through the B gap. Now, I just posted a 4-man dual edge pressure blitz for my Discord members. And this even gets dual edge pressure against a blocked 7 in the gun bunch formation. If you want access to those kind of blitzes, mini schemes every single week, and a ton more, check it out. PayPal link is in the description, and there's going to be a video pinned in the comment section explaining all the benefits you get for becoming part of that Discord server. Now, when it comes to adjustments, it really depends on where they are for the hash mark. If they're running short side bunch, if they're running wide side bunch, you've got to pay attention to that. So let's just start off with gun bunch on the wide side of the field. So the gun bunch is going to be on the right side. Mike SS3 seam, always having it come from the running back side. Let's get into Z spot and go. Talk about real simple adjustment. Now, lots of people like to run Z-spot and go like this with a C route, and then they'll sometimes take one of these guys, or they'll streak their running back and trying to get a high-low read on both sidelines. But let's go ahead and just reset the play. Popular way is going to be just like this, especially if they think you're in man-to-man defense. Now, as always, auto alignment is set to base. We're going to go ahead and press QB contain. I don't know what's going on with the game right now. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the slot corner and man him up to the running back. Now, we're not focused so much about the blitz right here because I have to snap the ball, make a read, and then engage with the offensive line. So things aren't going to work out too well because we can't do all of that, which is 2 hands. It's simply impossible. So keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to one small adjustment, I like to go ahead and take A and put him into a hard block. A lot of people are just used to the idea of being blitzed out of their mind. And so they look for the check down, especially when you give them a press look like this, and you're hovering over the offensive line. They expect heavy pressure. So we want to take away their first read, and then us as a user, the number one responsibility is going to be for this vertical route, pass it off to the inside third, and then just come back down to the middle of the field if there's any in-breaking route. So we would hover right here in game, they'll snap the ball, and then we're going to go ahead and peel off to the corner, work our way back to the seams, and if there's to be an in-breaking route, we'd come back to it a lot quicker than that. But again, it's very difficult to snap the ball, make a read, hover, get off the hover, and play into coverage. So keep all of that in mind. I'm controlling 2 teams at once. Now, when it comes to short side bunch is a whole different ball game. There's actually one more thing before we get into short side bunch. There's one more thing you need to pay attention to, and this is if they're starting to pick up on, hey, he's in cover 3. What they will do is they'll take this guy that was on a stop and go, they will motion him out, and then that will in turn obviously clear out that outside third, making it to where that corner out's going to get underneath. So if they have a motion out like that, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take A and I'm going to man him up to this corner out, and then I'm going to shade him individually to the right. Now, this corner out is not the greatest in beating man-to-man defense, especially if they don't have like a short out elite or short in elite. It just ain't going to work too well. And then us as a user, all we have to do is just worry about the tight end going to the flat route. So again, if we were to hover right here, we were to hover and we go straight off in the flats. And again, 9 times out of 10, if you're going to hover and do all the setup correctly, you're going to get the blitz to come through. But because we're having to hover, snap the ball, make a read, it's pretty much impossible to do that all on your own. So that is a little bit about wide side bunch. Now let's go ahead and get into short side bunch. And again, we're going to talk about some similar adjustments and some things you need to be worried about. First, with this kind of setup, cover 3 is not going to work on short side bunch. Again, because this streak route is going to go ahead and clear the outside third. It's going to allow that corner out to get open very, very easily. Now, last time we talked about manning up the corner out. If you don't want to worry about the tight end, take the seam flat, put him into hard flat, and then your assignment becomes jumping that corner out. So again, they would go ahead and contain. Let's take this guy, man him up to running back. Just keep it as simple as possible. We'll blitz our user. I'm going to try my best to get into coverage right here while snapping ball, engage, disengage, and just peel off onto that corner out. Again, just pay attention to where your user needs to be. What adjustments you're doing is where your user has to go to cover that open part of the field. Now, this adjustment, this blitz is very susceptible to being attacked over the middle of the field. So if they're running something like mesh post, this bunch does not have it, but essentially they would take this guy and motion him over, and they'd have him on a slant. And B, for this purpose, we'll have him on a slant as well. Just assume it's going to be a post route. This kind of setup is going to be very difficult to go ahead and defend. And reason being is because we don't have much help over the middle of the field. So if you see them motioning over a slot receiver, what I like to do is take Y and put him into a vert hook instead of manning him up to the running back. And then I'll take this guy, man him up to the solo receiver, and X, I'll put him into a hard flat. Now, obviously, they could pick up on this and they could take advantage of going over the top very easily right here. So just be wary of doing this adjustment every single time. If you're worried about being beat over top, you can take the slot receiver, man him up to RB, and run a defense like this. So no longer do you have to worry about the tail route or any kind of drag route. Hard flats there to go ahead and play it. And again, all we have to do is just worry about anything from the post route and mesh post, or any in breaking route or streak route from the tight end. So the last way we can go ahead and run with short side bunch is kind of like this. In this case, if you see the tight end like that position, he can be blocked. If he stands like an offensive lineman, they can block him, meaning that this blitz will no longer come through in max pro gun bunch. So right here, we would just assume they're going to go ahead and create a high-low read with a tight end running flat routes. We would run our defense like this. One more adjustment on the back end, so we don't have to worry about the flats. And all we're going to do is just, again, we work our way back to the middle of the field. It's right there. The man's going to go ahead and play that. So all we have to worry about in this case would be the post route. It's a very simple way to attack gun bunch, and a couple different coverage shells you can give your opponents to throw them off guard. Now, with man-ups, there are tails to it. As you guys saw, we went ahead and manned up LB to X, and we went ahead and pressed. You see how he lines himself directly over that solo side receiver? There are tails to this, so do pay attention to that. But very simple way to go ahead and attack a gun bunch, again, from short side, from wide side. Obviously, there's different route combinations your opponents can put on the field. If you want to get access to a full gun bunch defensive ebook I'm using in dollar defense, become a part of the Madden Mastermind Discord server today for $9.95 per month. As always, subscribe if you guys are new for more defensive tips, blitzes, and mini schemes for free. And we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you